house. I'm loading up the pump. I'm loading up the Uzi. I got a couple M16, a couple 9s. I got a couple joints with some silencers on. I'm just loading up clips, a couple grenades. Got a missile launcher with a couple, missiles. I'm ready for war.
Hanging a fool on swag and a fool. That's how we do on swag and a fool.
Serving the news, giving all the tea.
It's real live in this WAC. Hanging a fool on swag and a fool. That's how we do on swag and a fool.
Serving the news, giving all the tea.
It's real live in this WAC. A straight fool, yeah, you know how we act. Real news coming straight from the swag. Every week, giving y'all the tea. Yeah, John and G. Tell your peeps tune into the real. And the news ain't real. Sit back, chill, and let's get cool. It's time to watch that swag and a fool. And we officially here. Another episode, another week. We got J Max, we got GSPN, we got Al. So grab your shakers, grab your jerseys, grab your towels. Shout out to Dylan the Crazy Man on the track. We got Joe on the track. Hey, Jackson State, Graham State, Alcorn State, Alabama A&M, Alabama State, Prairie A&M, Mississippi Valley, Texas, Southern Arkansas, Pine Bluff, Florida A&M, Bethune-Cookman, and don't think I ain't forget. We won't. I say, go. Shout out to the mighty Jaguars, man. We back. Swacking the fool. We still swacking and acting. We swacking and we acting, yeah.
So right now,
What's good, y'all? It's your boy Al coming here once again from Swac'N the Fool. And y'all know why I'm so happy, because it's my favorite time of the year. Number one is Mardi Gras season, and number two, if it's Mardi Gras season, that means it's baseball season. My favorite sport, my favorite pastime, what I think probably the best sport in the SWAC right now. So look, we gonna get it started. We go over some of the preseason all selections right now. I know G and John, they kind of they don't like to talk about baseball, so they lead me to it. But I wish G was here, man. We got a lot to talk about from this past weekend, but we gonna get into it later. But we gonna start off. We got our SWAC preseason selection. Number one pitcher of the year, Hunter Veach from FAMU, who was pretty decent last year, who was one of the best pitchers in the SWAC, who I think will make a difference this year in the SWAC. Also, I think that's probably the perfect selection for preseason pitcher of the year. I didn't copy it in here, but Corey King was a hitter of the year also, who was probably the best hitter in the SWAC last year too. So that's a good pick also. He also got first team DH. So I think let's see. I think maybe Grambling got all the most selections out of any school at like 5 selections. I don't know. I feel like it could have been some different picks there in certain positions, but hey, kudos to Grambling having the most selections for preseason. Now with those preseason selections, you got to match the play. So we gonna see once the season starts. And there's also the prediction order right here for the finish. Alabama State picked to win the Eastern Division. The defending SWAC champs, that's a good pick. Like G say, you gotta go with whoever the champion is. Southern picked to finish the West, which I think is another good pick also. looking at what they got in the off season and looking what they returned from last year also, I think it'll be a tough finish in the end. I mean, people call me biased, but I think Southern might be in that driver's seat right now. You know, it's still early in the season after the first the first week. So we'll see though. We'll see though. FAMU, I think go have a say so, and Bethune Cookman, who always got a competitive squad, will have a say so too. So like they say, the kings of the SWAC. Yeah, we got some heat for y'all out there too. So let's see, so we go start off on week 1, man. I one of the one of G favorite teams, the Big Bad Braves. You know, they get swept at home against Alabama A&M, up and coming Alabama A&M team, 4-5, 5-9, 3-13. Shout out to Coach Jones, who's trying to build that program up at Alabama A&M. Uh, I just wish G was here to comment on this. G went live on Saturday, I think, when Alcorn basketball team won, but he didn't want to go live about the baseball team. So y'all know, like my girl Keisha Kelly say, all sports do matter. So if y'all do see G and G getting on y'all nerves, make sure y'all send them this screenshot right here of these 3 scores of this home sweep on the Big Bad Reservation. Let's see what we got. We got Alabama State, the defending SWAC champions. They had a home series against Purdue Fort Wayne. I've never heard of this school in my life. However, they took I think it's actually they took 3 out of 4. The other game didn't come in. 13-0. They lost 3-4. They won 18-4. Now I don't see the other score. But Alabama State has a few pitchers coming back from last year that I researched. They should have some experience on the pitching mound. Hbcu. Okay, yeah, I think I've seen that name on the bottom line before. Yeah, they got some experience coming back from last year. Obviously, the SWAC hitter of the year, Corey King, on Alabama State's team. So I think they're gonna have they're gonna make some noise this coming year, as they always do. So the FAMU Rattlers. Let's see. FAMU. They had a series with Eastern Illinois, got swept also. I mean, this is not an indicator of how good FAMU is. Like I said, Hunter Beats, who returned last year from FAMU's team, and one of the best, if not the best, pitcher in the SWAC, pitched on Friday. Obviously, he took the L with a 7-8 loss, but it was a close game all weekend. So um, I think FAMU might can overtake Alabama State as number 1 in the East as the season progresses. Um, I like Hunter on the mound, but then they got a few guys that can swing the bat. All I remember from the tournament was this dude last name Weber or Weaver. So we were up 7-1 tonight and lost. God, that's a tough way to lose when you up 7-1, especially in midweek games. Yeah, they had a dude named Jared Weber, I think, and he just hit the cover off the ball. Like I think if he play like he played last year in the tournament, he could possibly hit a player of the year and help FAMU get over that hump. And so the biggest event for the weekend was the Cactus Jack Travis Scott Hbcu Showcase Tournament, however you want to call it, which featured PV, Grambling, Valley, Texas Southern University, and Jackson State for a 3-day tournament at Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas. I got a chance to go to Friday's game, and the roof was closed this time, but it was very cold inside. I don't think they had no insulation in there. But the first game was versus Grambling versus PV. I can't even see this. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to see the score. I don't think I had a score for y'all. Hold on. Yeah, I do. Yeah, Gremlin versus PV. PV won that game 7-5, a kind of close game. It seemed like PV is just trying to get on that up and coming baseball. You know, Coach Riggins been at PV for a long time. At one point in time, I think there was some rumors that they was gonna fire Coach Riggins, but he been showing showing some life in that PV program the last few years. So, and then on that same day, which is probably the biggest upset of I don't know, maybe the year, maybe the weekend for sure, but. Um, Little old Valley got them a win over Texas Southern, 7-5. And I didn't get a chance to see this game, but from some people who I talked to, they said Valley was up a pretty good amount, and toward the end, TSU tried to chip away, but it wasn't really close the whole game. So, a former Jaguar, I think it's Coach Barney, and former Grambling Tiger, I think he transferred to Grambling, is the head coach at Valley now. So, it's possible Valley might be making some noise also in the SWAC. So that's a team you got to look out for, obviously, because they got to win on day one of the tournament, which you usually see your best pitchers at and your best players are playing on Friday. So kudos to Valley. The next game was SU against Jackson State. Uh, One reason why I was intrigued to see this matchup, number one, because that's my school, but number two, they had Jalen Long on the mound for Southern, transfer from Sanford University, who had a pretty decent outing. I think he went 4 innings and 4 and 2/3 innings. I don't remember how many strikeouts, but it looked like he was anywhere between 91, 92 miles on the hump, which is a pretty significant velocity for the Southwestern Athletic Conference. You don't see that too often on weekends. A lot of guys in the SWAC could be upper 80s, man, and probably mostly mid to upper 80s. So that was a good outing. And Southern showed they could definitely hit the ball, spray the ball from the beginning of the lineup to the end of the lineup. They got a lot of newcomers who showed their face. I think his last name is Reynolds, played right field. The dude got a major league arm from right field. I think Jackson State had multiple opportunities where they could round second base. Um, and Mr. Reynolds in right field decided to show off his cannon from there, hold those runners up. So I think he put the SWAC on notice. Nathaniel Lay, the 6'7" DH catcher slash first baseman, whatever you want to call it, had an excellent game also. Just an overall all around good game. I just think in Jackson State's case, their pitching kind of ran out, and then SU's bullpen kind of had their way when they did decide to go to the bullpen after Jalen Long came off the mound with two transfers. I can't remember the first dude's name. Can't remember the second dude's name. But they both came from JUCOs within the state of Louisiana, and they shut Jackson State's offense um, down later in the game and end up closing it out for the win. Now we go to day two with Valley versus Jackson State. Everybody kind of trying to figure out, is Valley for real? Are they fake? Like what's the deal? But Jackson ended up winning that game 14-1. They pretty much manhandled Valley in their first game of the afternoon. And then we had the 3 o'clock game, which was Grambling versus Southern. That game ended up being 4-3. I think that's a close game, good pitching duel. For Southern, they pitched. I think his name is Nick Smith, the sophomore from the Dallas area, who did a pretty good job too. But these type of games are boring because they don't have no offense. But that's just part of the game right there. So shout out to both sides. Then our late game was TSU versus Prairie View. I don't show the score. Oh, TSU came back and won this game 8-4. I think Prairie View was up 4-0, and TSU somehow clawed back. They clawed back and won 8-4. So, man, in the SWAC, a lot of these games depend on pitcher. Man, if your pitcher can only go 4 innings, 5 innings, 6 innings, that's decent. But you got to have that bullpen. to shut teams down and make sure they don't come back like TSU did. What's good, Los? Day three, who we got? Day three, we got Grambling versus Valley. Like people still trying to figure out is Valley for real, or they but nah. Grambling ended up winning this one 14-4. Pretty easily. They get their first win of the year. The next game was let's see. Next game was Jackson State versus PV. Jackson State ended up winning convincingly 8-3. So, like I said, every game is pitching. Like it just depends who's pitching on the mound, and it's kind of how the game goes. And then Southern and TSU was the nightcap. Wasn't even close. They 10-run ruled them, which means they ended the game early, 11-1. So just from this first week, I think SU is gonna be something to reckon with. Like I said earlier, FAMU obviously is gonna be something to reckon with, even though they got swept. Bethune-Cookman also, I forgot to put their scores up from this weekend, and then Bama State, the king, the last year's SWAC championship. So you gonna have, I think I'm gonna have all four of those teams in the mix. I think everybody else, they probably just gonna be fighting for tournament seed as the year goes by. And we had some midweek games yesterday. I didn't see anybody else's score. I know Alabama A&M played Tennessee. And it was 1-0 at one point, but I don't remember what the final score was. And then SU played LSU. They were up 4-0 in the third inning, and then it all kind of fell off after that. But even though they SU lost 18-4, what inning is college run rule? Is it 5 and 7 inning games? And 7 and 9. It's 10. It's in 9 inning games. It's 10 runs after 7 innings. So if the team is up 10 runs after 7 innings in a 9 inning game, they go shut the game down. And then for 7 inning, I think it's 10 after 5. So yeah. But even though SU lost 18-4, I did see some highlights. LSU put a pitcher out there who pitched for UCLA last year and had a pretty good record at 8-4, and was supposed to be their Saturday starter, but obviously he's not fitting the bill this year. But anyway, they started him yesterday, and I think SU roughed them up the first 3 innings. They were just they were kind of spraying hits all over the place on this kid, which is how they got 4 runs. So I think hitting won't be an issue for SU this year. Pitching, I don't think will not be an issue for SU this year also. So that's why I kind of say SU is in the driver's seat right now compared to all the other squads. But like I said, it's an early season, and we gonna see as time goes by, and then also as the season goes by, we gonna pray for Alcorn too. They got swept this past weekend, and G ain't had nothing to say about it. All he told me was he think they cheated. But yeah, I mean, Alcorn got an up and coming program, so hopefully they can build that into something competitive in the next few years, and give G something to talk about as far as baseball instead of him always running his mouth about basketball and football and these big bad Braves, because they definitely were the big bad Braves this weekend. Let's see if I can see this. I know this weekend they got the Wesley Barrow tournament, which I think is also put on by the MLB. it's put on by the MLB. This held in New Orleans. I think FAMU's participating, Southern, Alabama State, Prairie View. Oh, sorry, the Andre Dawson Classic is put on also by the MLB. So Prairie View, FAMU, Southern, Bama State, Jackson State, Alabama A&M, they're all participating in that this weekend. Texas Southern has a 3-game series with Arkansas Baptist. It looks like Bethune-Cookman is playing Purdue-Fort Wayne, who FAMU played this past weekend. And Grambling. Grambling is also in the Andre Dawson class. And then Alcorn is playing some team. My bad, y'all. I don't know what's wrong with my mic.
To tell me that they scheduled a school called Roosevelt on their baseball schedule. So it went. Now they can't hear me. Let me see. Can y'all hear me now? I hope y'all can. Okay. Nah, like I was saying, Alcorn played somebody named Roosevelt this year. G talk all that noise about how Alcorn football team, they don't schedule cupcakes, they don't schedule NAI teams, they don't schedule the Virginia Lynchburgs, the Florida Memorials, but they schedule a school called Roosevelt, who I never heard of in my life as far as college baseball goes. So when y'all see G or talk to G, make sure y'all bring this up. Make sure y'all bring up how Alcorn got swept. Make sure y'all bring up their scheduling and them scheduling a team called Roosevelt. So But yeah, I'm looking forward to the season. I'm excited. I'm excited with the swag guy, Teddy. I mean, I don't know. It could be Teddy Roosevelt School. I know there's got to be G behind his. I don't know whose school it is, but I'm gonna have to look him up once I get off here. Um, but that's it. That's the swag recap. Uh, Make sure y'all go support y'all baseball teams. Breon Poole is not at Alabama State anymore, or if he is, he was hurt this weekend because he didn't start. Um, Hopefully he's in an MLB right now. Oh yeah, I gotta go over possible draft picks. Possible draft picks. I can go over that on the next recap. But yeah, that's all I got tonight. Make sure y'all like, follow, share the stream. Um, yeah, anybody who like baseball, y'all send it to them. Send it to your grandparents, your grandmas, your cousins, your sisters, and your mama. And make sure y'all tune in for our next broadcast. It's gonna be coming up soon. We still got some basketball to talk about because we got to talk about Salt Lake City, um, and the debacle SU did and up there in the mountains in that cold weather. Uh, I know Grambling folks got a lot of will have a lot to talk about. So yeah, until next time, make sure y'all like, subscribe, and follow, and I'll see y'all later. I don't know who's number one in basketball.